this origin story is different in a way because it's not the Daredevil origin story that they originally used.
Here we go. This is going to be our first TMNT review. We're going to be doing IDW's TMNT Collection, Volume 1. We're doing the first 4 issues. I believe that this is before IDW completely shits the bed on the intellectual property, and everything goes off the rails, and it gets infected with a bunch of woke garbage. I don't know for certain because I'm not going to go that far into it. But right now, I can tell you that this is gold.
Yep. Absolute
gold. All right. I hope everybody at home can hear me clearly. I'm on a group's microphone, not my usual microphone today. So I hope everybody's going to be able to hear everything clearly. If not, what are you going to do? There's only probably 15 of you watching this anyway. So today we've got our panel of experts. We got Megan.
Hello.
We got Michael.
Experts giving us all too much credit, man.
Expert. And we also have Luke.
Hello.
All right. And of course, coming back for a special return, we also have Duke. But I don't know if you're doing any art today. Are you doing anything artistic today, Dave?
Sure, I will. Here we go.
All righty.
That appears to be Spider-Man.
I realize you titled yourself Da Vinci. I like, because of your art, I like the tie-in for
Turtles? Yeah, that's what it was for.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, let's get into things then. This is going to be a review how we normally do at our comic club. This is the first one we're recording, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So, issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. I thought it was a really good place to end it. I didn't know where issue 4 ended, but man, did it end perfectly for the first 4 issues.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. It was absolutely great.
Like looking at the index, I think the next thing is the one of the mini things.
Yeah, we might go. Yeah, we might go into that.
But yeah, I think going into that and then going into issue 5 would have been too much, and I think where it ended in 4 was absolutely perfect.
Awesome. Also, you guys might see from time to time, you might see the Hound, or you might not. I don't know. He's doing his thing. Okay.
Hound in around.
So normally how we do this is we'll first off say what we liked about it, and then we'll say what we disliked about it. Then we'll grade the art, and then we'll grade the story. Now, before we go into any kind of grading, though, I need everybody to understand, while I don't consider the art to be top-notch in these first 4 issues, there is a certain way that this art meshes with what the story is. The story is supposed to be a street-level story. It's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be choppy. It's supposed to be very, in a lot of ways, brutal. And I think this art style actually helps the story in that regard. Okay, even though it's definitely not Kingdom Come, even close, or anything like that. I don't think Kingdom Come art would do this story justice, though. This story needed to have something that was choppy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that.
I'll touch upon it more when we get
to it. But I'm just warning everybody ahead before we start grading, because it's gonna hurt me to give the art what I'm gonna give it, but I want you to know there's gonna be a counter to how it enhances the story, though. Okay, so let's start it off. Megan, what do you like about these particular issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 of IDW's TMNT collection?
I really like that it's...
Speak up for the people at home.
I really like that it's a new take on the origin of the Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how you can see so many different aspects of how the origin is already just from the first 4 issues. Like, we know what the lab is doing behind the scenes. We know how Casey comes into the story.
Stock Gen.
We know how April comes into the story.
Stock Gen.
And we already are easily able to see who we're rooting for and who we're not.
Who you rooting for? Shredder?
I'm rooting for
not Donatello.
I'm rooting for Splinter and the Turtles
Yeah?
and Casey.
And Casey. You got a crush on Casey?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, it's fair. You have a crush on April.
I'm not so sure about April right now.
Okay.
He's
Fuck that hair, though.
Luke, you have a crush on Casey.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so
Okay.
much more
That
used
hockey
to
mask, keep it on.
I'm so much more used to April like
Take everything off but the mask. Go on.
investigating in her own way.
Huh?
So seeing her go to the police first thing, was maybe a little unusual.
Well, that's
But she
I think in this instance, the
but
police
she
came
did
to her.
she did call the police and she had
because security was involved as well,
Yeah.
right? There's going to be police involvement. She was going to get questioned. April's just so pure and naive at this stage that she's just going to tell the truth, right?
ultimately the thing that I liked, or I also really enjoyed the three brothers having to just go off of Splinter's word that there's a fourth turtle,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bit of doubt because they've been looking for him for so long. But then when they ultimately do find him, then that battle is so much more meaningful.
Shut up, Donnie.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I liked.
Have a little bit of faith in Father for once. All right. Okay.
Too smart for his own good.
Yeah, exactly. Get off the internets already. All right. Mike, what did you like about
All right,
these
so
particular issues?
I was talking. We were talking about this before a little bit, but I really like Casey and Raph's meeting.
Yeah.
Because obviously in almost every iteration, they're the two that become the best friends, and having this be the kind of catalyst for why he's closer to Raph than any of the other turtles is really cool. I also do love the idea of Raph being separated from the brothers at first.
Yeah.
Because it gives very much a reason why his fighting style might be a little bit more aggressive and less
Street life.
focused
Yeah.
Just
than the rest.
genuinely more angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's like, I woke up, there was nothing.
Me in an alley.
Yeah, I was in the fucking alley.
One thing I had mentioned.
Some lights on me too.
One thing I had mentioned that
Michelle.
I do really like about more modern iterations of the Turtles. When I first started reading it, I didn't notice it as much, but towards the tail end of issue 1, when we see the Turtles as babies, when April's giving her their names, or giving them the names that she gave her,
Yeah.
it's very easy to see, and then from that point on, it's a lot more noticeable. There are physical differences to the brothers. I generally prefer seeing a little bit more diversity, but the colors to them are slightly different shades of green to tell them apart.
I'll be honest with you. This harkens back to this is a homage to the original Ninja Turtles, where they all were pretty much identical. I mean, like really.
Yeah.
And they had the same color mask, and the only way you could differentiate them was by their weapons.
Yeah, and I got that very that. That was how I was feeling very
So
early on.
it was homage to that.
Yeah. But then when they did, like, I did notice that there were color differences. I started seeing it more and more, and that's something I do really like. So the turtles aren't just carbon copies of each other.
No, and it'll be more clear
Yeah.
when they get their colored
Yeah.
masks.
But you see, as babies, it's the most determined. Donnie's the most yellow of them. Mikey's the deepest green, where Leo looks the most normal, I guess. is
Neutral.
neutral.
He's the glue.
He is.
So that is something I do like, and I do like that it is starting to show a little bit more, because it makes telling them apart, aside from just their weapons, a little bit easier.
Sure.
It's when there's only like one or two of them on this, like in a panel, it's hard to tell. But when you see like all four of them, or even three of them together, it becomes a lot easier to tell which one's which.
Well, growing up with the old black and white comic, I just always look for the weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway, now it's just something I do. So that's how I tell them apart.
The one moment I was really thankful for to have the color differentiations is the one brief training scene that they have where they don't have their weapons and they're just sparring, and I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is Leo, this is Donnie, and this is Mikey.
Yep. All right, Luke, what did you like about it? Come on.
My favorite part is just the characters themselves. Leonardo, the hard ass, listen to Master no matter what, is amazing. Raphael's anger, he just has it.
And he uses it.
He uses it, yeah.
Yep. Casey's dad will never be the same.
No.
No, Casey said he's not going to remember it.
Right?
Because somebody finally said no and said, I'll fight back.
Yes.
Because it even says with Casey, he never fights back. It's like, I'll take care of him. I won't fight back, though, because he's my father.
Because he promised his mom.
Yeah, he promised his mom.
I thought that was a really cool reason.
That was a cool showing that he's like, I want to, but I made a promise to my dying mom.
Exactly.
And I'm keeping that promise.
Mom didn't say anything about a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle whooping Dad's ass, so...
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's fine. It's not the first story we listed.
The highlight of the first 4 issues is Splinter himself.
Oh, you stole it from me. Yeah,
Yeah.
Splinter's on point, man.
Saves them multiple times. Saves April from the ninjas. And I just pulled it up. He's literally dragging in his 3 sons, because this is when
in a bag.
Raphael's already taken. As the ninjas attacking him.
And he's still as a rat.
Yeah, as a rat. He did more damage to the ninja than Ninja did to him. He's a rat.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that.
Just say alpha.
He's alpha. And him as a teacher.
Perfect.
He's a perfect teacher. Doesn't get angry. Says, don't let anger take over.
Yep.
Failure just leads to more learning.
Exactly.
You just have to fail gracefully.
And in the big fight, he's like, nobody dies.
Nobody dies. All non-lethal.
I don't know who it is. I think it might be Donatello, but will you tell them that?
Yeah, it was Bobby Dawn. He's like, please tell them that. This really hurts.
Yeah. All right. So, Dave, what did you...
Yes, it was Donnie. I wish somebody would tell them that.
Yeah. Dave, what did you like about it most?
Well, I do like the fact that they're taking their time with actually developing the story, the origin story. It's like it's giving us time to really get to know who the characters are, especially like people that have never read it, or don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
And it also helps. I mean, it's because I'm sure most people grew up with like the cartoon, right? And that was so not really my Turtles,
No, it wasn't my Turtles either.
So I'm glad that they're actually taking their time with it, and they're actually going to town with everything. And it spaces it out enough that each character or what they're focusing on, we're getting time with them at this point. So we're getting to know this person at this point, and this is why we're going to like them. Obviously there's a heavy Raph and Casey in this part of the story, but I'm sure that they're probably going to spend equal amount of time on the other ones. But Raph's like the Wolverine, right? So they have to, he's going to be the favorite, right? So
generally, now there are always exceptions, but generally, if you ask most TMNT fans, Raphael is the guy. Yes.
Yeah. So.
And when I first got into TMNT, of course, it was Raphael. So.
There's no other way. Yeah.
Right. For me, I've seen many different versions of this story, of this origin, and of these characters. This is hands down the best because it picks and chooses what was good in any of those other particular ones and fuses it into this beautiful story that they're crafting, and it is an amazing hook. The angle that they take with Raphael and him being separated from his brothers, and this whole when, how, if they will reunite and it's perfect how they actually do reunite, because it has to be in the crucible of war, and it was, and it was awesome.
You know what was funny?
Yeah.
When I first skimmed through it, like just to go through, I thought they were all there.
Oh.
So then when I was reading it, I was like, where the fuck is Raphael?
He gone.
It's like, oh fuck, he got fucking turtle napped.
He got almost. He got abandoned.
He got abandoned. And
Well, the fucking ninja showed up. What was he gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
well, he could.
Splinter did a whole hell of a lot. Let's be honest. And that's everything that Splinter did on that fateful night, where everything went down with the ninjas, with old Hob, with all of it. Everything that he did as a rat is foundation for the entire series. Think about that for a second, right? That one fateful night set everything in motion.
Gave Emperor. Yes. You got that information.
The disc got cut in half,
Yeah,
didn't
When
it?
she saw the title.
Yeah, fair. But
Weld it back together. It works.
get Donnie on it. All right, but
Donnie could just use both halves and still somehow pull it out of his ass.
he does machines. All right, so nonetheless, that is what I liked about it.
Machines, all right.
It was beautifully crafted. It was an homage to all the best things that the Turtles ever were, and like I said, it was an amazing hook. It made me want to just keep reading, no matter what. Like it was just like I'm going to keep reading. There's no way I'm not putting it. I'm not going to be reading anymore. There's just no way. These were people that really wanted to tell a story and actually loved the source material.
Oh, for sure.
Please take fucking notes, Marvel. All right. Yeah, you too, DC. You know what? No, fucking both. Both of you fucking die and go out of business. And let other people grab your IPs and actually give it the love they need. All right, so it's time to talk about what we didn't like about it. Megan, you're first.
If you're going to make it that there's 15 months in between the Turtles and Splinter escaping, maybe have Raphael join up with Casey a little bit sooner. Otherwise, there's no reason why Raphael should be able to speak English, considering that.
I can give you one in a simple sentence.
Okay.
Super soldier mutagen.
Yeah.
It
Because
also made them smarter.
like when they first get transformed,
But-
they say turtle.
They say
Yes.
turtle.
Because
They're mimicking.
they're mimicking
And so where is Raphael right now?
who's on the streets.
Where? What streets?
The streets of New York.
What?
The streets of New York.
Oh, there's a lot of people saying a whole lot of things all day long in those streets and alleys, isn't there?
Fair. But,
There we go.
but if he's also on 15 months, and it take Hob this long.
Because he's a ninja turtle.
Because
Also,
Hob-
he's also, to be completely honest, Hob has said that he's seen him, that there's been encounters, but he's focused on Splinter. That's where his real hatred is. And so that's what he's focusing on. Remember, the whole thing is him trying to narrow down and trying to find out where Splinter's lair was. And that's what touches off the original fight, because they were getting too close and they're hurting the people in that particular neighborhood where their lair is. And so the girls came out of hiding to kick some ass and leave a message, right?
Get off our turf.
Yep. So continue though.
Hobbs, oh, so you guys are close.
I can understand though your point though. Maybe they could have done but I think they want to develop Casey's story with the Turtles story.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't done that, then there would already be a lot that's already assumed with Casey, and we wouldn't see it. It'd be off screen, right? What do you think about that as an answer?
That's a fair answer.
Right? Because Casey's going to grow as a character as well in this series.
I do adore how he's not faced in any way of the giant turtle standing in his living room.
He lives in New York.
Yeah.
And,
And he's kind of like, my dad's a bigger monster than you are, so who cares?
and last thing is part of a question. With their super soldier serum,
Mutagen.
mutagen, sorry, right, because it has to be different. Do they also have like super healing or anything?
I think that they're probably just jacked on all levels. They probably heal faster than
Yeah.
regular people, but I don't know if it's just outright regeneration. It definitely isn't hyper regen. Looking at you, Mike. But yeah, but I'm sure just picture Captain America. They probably have a lot of that going on with them.
So this isn't a complaint. It's just this would have been cool if they kept some scars or scuffs on Raphael's shell where Hob bit down on his shell.
That you called that, yeah, like just like 2 pinpoints on his shell or something. That would have been kind of cool.
I think it was more of a thing where he just grabbed the turtle, didn't really bite down.
No,
Probably just the stomach would get pierced.
but they got a shell there too.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Not as tough as the top one, but it's still protection.
Mhm.
All right.
All that
And-
turtle, all that cat wanted was a turtle, and it got super.
And last thing, I don't know. So we decided that perhaps it was Mikey who was standing on top of
It had to be.
Donnie
Yeah.
in the aquarium. Well, obviously Mikey learned his lesson not to hump everything because he's also humping the broken vial.
All right, we're moving on. Yeah, I
Come
know.
on, this is a very serious.
Jeez, Megan. I don't care if your weird turtle fetishes. All right, Michael.
Well, I'm going to start off with the obvious one. Screw those assholes who were leading Casey and Raphael to the ambush. They made Raphael lose his hot dog.
Okay.
That needs to be rectified.
What did you actually dislike about these issues?
Honestly, so this is very, like, I do agree with you on the fact that it probably does help the story with the style of art that's being shown. That said, I'm not generally a fan of this style of art overall. The story very much helps it, and is why I kept reading and why I still do want to read. But, and I'm not saying that the art is bad; it's just not my personal favorite.
Fair enough.
So that is,
yeah. You have a right
Yeah.
to talk about that. Okay, and you can go into more when we grade the art.
yeah. I it's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know specifically why it bothers me. It's just not a style of art I like
Sure,
too much.
but does it suit the story?
It does, absolutely. I do agree with you on that, but I would be remiss to not mention that I don't particularly like it.
Sure.
Um,
And it does cycle through different artists throughout the series, right?
Yeah.
So we will get different.
Yeah.
And even the original artists get involved as well. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's what sold me on the Turtles originally was that kind of cool art. That it's super gritty.
aside from that, there's not a whole lot. I wasn't.
Oh, here we go.
There was one character who's just the speech pattern they gave him really bugged me reading it.
What was that?
It was the scientist.
Oh, he's got the speech
The
impediment.
hippie.
Like there were points where where they gave him stuttered and stuff like that, which I was fine with, but the constant. I get that there are people that speak like this. Just reading it's kind of infuriating. The constant like in almost every sentence he said, and it was just got annoying after a while for me.
I'm just gonna say it. April might be hotter than the average scientist that he might get to interact with.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that I might be stumbling over a few words if I was talking around
And
April.
then you also have a stutter on top of that.
Yeah, you
done.
got no chance.
Like I said, it's just a mild nitpick
Yeah,
for me.
I
It's
know.
just-
I have a speech.
It was just done too much.
Yes.
Fair. If it was lighter, it wasn't so prevalent. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
because
have a problem.
I think the word was used in almost every single word bubble he has.
Yeah, I think they could have just been stuttering more instead of umming
Yes.
so much. All right, Luke. Well, before we do Luke, we didn't. I actually wasn't able to make it today, so we're gonna talk about what she liked.
All right.
She liked. April was a lab tech student, and that she named the turtles. She liked that. She liked the slight shade difference used between the turtles, like Mike pointed out, and she thought the page layout overall was very dope. Her word, her quote.
Of
All right.
course it was her word.
Her dislikes was the panels felt busy at times. like a lot of art in a small box. Less is more sometimes. But she says she's reaching because she thought the whole thing was great. Okay.
Nice.
You can knock it out of the park. Now, what did you dislike?
The only thing that I could say that I disliked, but it's to draw homage to the old Turtles, is it's hard to tell them apart without their weapons and truly noticing their differences in sizes.
And shade?
Yeah. Because of they all have the red headbands.
Yep.
Or are they eye bands?
They're masks. Masks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything else? Not too much. I like the art. I've realized as reading different stuff now, I like the more gritty art style. I don't like the perfect art. It's boring to me.
Fair.
It's like that doesn't look like real life.
I perfectly agree.
I think it really depends on the story,
Yeah.
right? Some people will use art that is really not syncing with what they're trying to portray.
I think that's the genre of stories I like are all the, vigilante, rough and tough, in the dirt, where you want to use like clean art style for like superheroes because they're a bit more,
Yeah, there are definitely some times where artists do not fit the.
No.
Because I know there was the newest Ghost Rider, the Hispanic one.
Oh yeah,
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie Reyes. The first run of art, the first artist on his run, has a very cartoony art style,
it does,
and it doesn't look good for Ghost Rider.
They need something grittier.
Yeah.
Yes, it did not look good for Ghost Rider.
All right.
And the only thing I could complain about is we could tell the shadow organization going on. How the heck was April allowed to talk to those cops? Those cops, it should have been they're just starting the interview and then people come in and take her.
It could have been.
That was the only thing. Be like, they're sealing this down tight so they know every person that was working there. And they realize where the heck is April?
Maybe they made off the cops.
Or,
Who knows?
but maybe it should have been that security knows not to let.
So it would be more like
Employees
that
talk
the
to
cops
her.
get to her, but then obviously
All
someone
right.
pays someone higher.
Well, here's
up
the thing.
to
Hold on.
pull it from it.
Here's the thing. Let's assume it's Shredder. Okay. Let's just assume it's Foot. Okay. Maybe they're letting the cops question her to see what she knows.
Yeah, that could be another thing.
And if she doesn't know fuck all, or why go through the trouble?
Yeah.
Right. We gotta still find this missing shit. Right. So maybe that's what they need to focus on.
Yeah. And they probably also thought, even if these are regular cops, they're saying there were ninjas in there. Who's going to believe her?
Exactly. And then maybe one of the corrupt cops go and talks to the Foot, talks to the Shredder, and says, "Yeah, the bitch didn't know shit."
I am very curious because obviously the heroes are going to be fighting like the villains. It seems like there's two factions of villains going on.
Oh, it's about to get
All the
spicy. All righty. Dave, what did you dislike about this one?
All right. Even though I know it's staying true to the original, and my biggest thing is like, okay, so we got the secret of Nim going on with the intelligent animals. It feels so weird that ninjas are involved. Like the Foot itself. It just feels. I know it is Turtles, but it's like I need a stronger connection.
Dave, you do know the literal name of this comic, right?
Yes, I know, but I need them to have the writers to give us a stronger reason why ninjas are involved in like this high-tech mutant stuff, right?
Okay. We only know that 2 ninjas were sent.
Yes,
right?
I know.
Okay, so we know that 2 ninjas were sent. It wasn't like they sent the entire freaking Foot Clan or anything like that. But it's a foreshadowing that the Shredder is involved.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what that.
And
Also, they were running Terrapin human exo-armor synthesis
Terrapin.
and the ninjas are what you have an issue believing?
I love how they foreshadowed everything. Like,
Yeah, they did. They did.
such a glorious job, man.
Krang was name dropped already.
Krang, yep, he's in it. Everything. The war. We're talking about wars being fought. Everything. So keep going though, Dave. So
No, I know that I know there's going to be a good reason, but I just hope that the writers give us something, something
Well,
that's stronger than the original,
you will. I
hoping.
guarantee you will.
So that's my only beef, because it feels very disconnected. If I was just reading Turtles without knowing anything about it, knowing that even the name, I'd be like, I still don't get the connection. Why is there ninjas? You know?
Yeah,
Why not?
I guess, but Turtles are so widely identified and known now.
Yeah.
Somebody picking up a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic,
They should
gotta know. Yeah, they gotta know something.
Honestly, the way I see it is similar to like the one of the things I praised the Spider-Man Homecoming for was they didn't give us the fucking origin story. Everybody knows Spider-Man origin story at this point. We don't need to hear it again.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't need to see Batman's parents die again. We've got like 30 different versions of it.
But I'll be honest with you, this origin story with the Turtles is the best one I've seen.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, some things are so widely known, it doesn't always need to be explained.
And that's the thing, because like this origin story is different in a way, because it's not the Daredevil origin story that they originally used, right?
That's right.
It's like
they shied away from.
I'm just using that as like an example. Like the ninja part, it comes out of left field, but sometimes it's so well known it doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it, and that's why it's the only kind of thing I can pick at, right? And I know that they're going to resolve this, right?
Yep. So I'm going to let everybody know I have nothing. If you guys couldn't tell how I'm defending every single time you guys are saying what you dislike, I'm jumping in and I have nothing. That like I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. No, not pizza and cowabunga. I actually love these boys, and so
I get to see both sides.
Exactly. But I'm saying this is so well done. And I think this is IDW in their heyday. This is when they were cooking with
gas.
Cooking with gas, all cylinders were firing, right? And they really wanted to make something memorable. And they did.
And there's a lot of IPs from IDW that I feel I want to start reading because
they do this kind of stuff.
I know they start off at least
Power Rangers
very well. Power Rangers absolutely one of them.
The problem is like I said, eventually
the
crap creeps in, but when, right? I don't know. Maybe it'll be like volume 17 before we start seeing it. And I'm okay with collecting up to that point. Yeah. So, all right. So I don't have an issue with just about anything, and that's rare for me, as you guys all know. If I had to say anything, I think the art could have been a little better. Like it seemed rushed in some places.
Well, they need to pay their artists better. That's what the problem is, right?
That's
why that's why they go through so many.
Absolutely. I'll agree with you on that. It could come down to something along those lines, Dave. But it did seem a little rushed in some places, considering how simple the art appears. It still seemed rushed, and I was like, that seems strange.
Yeah.
Like when the art style is so simple, you could take a little bit more time, I would think. Yeah. I don't know what the guy's time frame is. Yeah. Maybe he's trying to crank out a comic book a week. I don't know.
Yeah, like there's this one kick where one of the turtles' toes pretty much just turned into green. It was just a green pile.
Yeah.
It wasn't a toe anymore. They kind of merged with the person.
And I noticed there were some action scenes where everything just felt a little stiff.
Yeah.
With how it was moving.
It's fair. But like I said, if I had to. And so that's it. I don't even want to say that. So whatever. Regardless, we're going to get into the scoring now. So people at home, first we score the art, and this is on a 5-star rating, like you guys would do a Yelp review or a restaurant review or something along those lines. We do it on 5 stars. All right, with art 5 being Kingdom Come, and 1 being your next door neighbor's kids' stick drawings.
It looks so good. Yeah, honey, for sure.
Absolutely. You're such an artist.
You know what? Let's put it on the mini fridge in the garage.
Every parent, their kid does something artistic. My kid's going to be an artist. Yeah, okay.
I still think one of my favorite tweets I've ever seen from Ryan Reynolds was, my daughter drew something to make today at school. I would put it on the fridge, but honestly, it's a piece of shit.
Luckily for my parents, they knew from day one he wasn't artistic at all.
They're still trying to figure out what you are. All right, so brutality. All right,
Honesty.
Is that a new finishing thing for Mortal Kombat? Honesty.
I mean, they've
All
done
right.
friendship. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's so good. All right, Megan, let's talk about the art.
Bad day to be walking home that way.
I know, right?
It is really fucking cold
I
out,
know, right?
It's chilly.
All right. Oh, I want chili now. Okay. All right, Megan.
I'm giving it a 3.
All right, we got a 3.
And it's not going to be for the reason you think.
What are you thinking
Because
of 3?
I actually really do enjoy the grittier art style, especially because if I had to equate like this art style to anything else that I've read, some of my favorite Batman comics are actually drawn in this grittier style, simpler style.
Fair enough. Speak up for the people at home.
So I love that. Some of the problems I do have, one is that the shadows are sometimes off. For the angle of light that is being portrayed in what's going on in the scene, the shadows are a little off. The best example I have is when the baby turtles are in the glowing ooze.
Mhm.
They're lit from above still,
Oh, not from below.
not from below.
Got it. That would have really accentuated that too. That scene if they were going from it was lit from below.
Yeah.
That would have made it even cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
But something that actually threw me off an awful lot was every speech bubble was mostly normal, was round and had no emphasis. Now that might just be me like reading regular comics, and every sound effect is accentuated and all that, but I don't know, it kind of took away from some of like the excitement of the moment.
Sure.
So that's why I guess a 3.
All right. Michael, you got to give it honest.
I am torn.
You usually are.
Like I said, this is entirely
Is it between 1 and 2?
no.
It's between 1 and 0.
It's between 2 and 3 for me. And I think I'm leaning towards 2 just because like I said, it's a personal thing that I'm not a huge fan of this art style.
Go Pathfinder round down.
Like I said,
Works.
the story, it'll definitely be made up for it in the story because the art does really help accentuate it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still just not a general fan, and specifically it being this early on, I think the artist is still trying to find his footing.
So we'll see if it gets better.
Hopefully it'll get better, but like I said, specifically early in like the first issue, there are a lot of the action scenes that are just feel a little stiff to me.
Okay. So what are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 2.
A deuce. Lucas, what's going on, Luke?
Let's see.
Giving it a 6?
No. I can still see that it does need to do some work. So I'm giving it a 3. Just because personally I like this style of art.
Yeah.
But there are moments where it's like, these are weird looking toes, especially like he's coming out the dumpster. Some parts they do need to improve on, but it's not bad enough that it's a 2.
Especially with turtle toes, because they're pretty much just squares.
Yeah.
How can you not just draw a square? All right. Fair enough. All right. And here comes, are you ready for our resident artiste? Dave, what are we talking about here, man?
Oh, I decided long ago that I'd give it a 3, and I would have given it a 2.5. But really, the reason why I give it a 3 is because the coloring is done well.
Okay.
I think the colorist is better than the artist.
Yeah.
I can absolutely agree.
I'll agree with you on that one, too.
Yeah.
If you can look and see, like there's ways that they have made the art, the boring flat lines or whatever, they make it better. They make it so much better.
Absolutely.
So.
All right. And that's coming from Dave. So
Under Patterson.
that's the equivalent of what you were given ElfQuest most of the time. Yeah, interesting. All right, I'm giving it a 2. And it's hard for me. It breaks my heart to do it, but I have to. This is getting borderline to what I can draw. And if I can draw it, it ain't going to get a high mark. I'm not saying I can draw like this exactly or anything like that, but I'm close to that kind of craftsmanship, that kind of skill. And I don't think that I deserve anything like any kind of, maybe a 1. So I'm giving it a 2. So that's how I usually go up. If I can't even possibly draw it, then we're going to see the 3 or higher range. So there we go. All right, but now we're getting into the real meat, the story. Megan,
I'm gonna give it a 4.
you were fucking drunk, but continue. Continue.
I'm not gonna say it's perfect.
Obviously, because we got a real score then. You're doing it again, aren't you?
This is volume 11 all over again.
Let's go. Let's do it.
For those at home, he's referring to volume 11 of My Hero Academia, which I did not give a perfect score. And just looking at Paul's hat, the fact that somebody is his boy. So not giving volume 11 a perfect score is a travesty. And apparently I'm doing it again.
This has been going on for almost a year now, actually.
It's perfect.
Let's just say if Megan has a way to let me down, comic book wise, she lets me down. All right. So anything else you want to say about 4 out of 5?
I would give it 4.5, but I'm going to round down.
You're going to Pathfinder it?
Yep.
All righty. Michael, what are we giving it?
I'm giving it a 5. There's a lot. So
My man.
there's a lot of early stuff that like I said, this is probably my favorite explanation for why Casey and Raph have a stronger bond than any of the turtles, or than Casey has with any of the other turtles. Weirdly enough, I do also really like April being the one to give them their names.
That was wild.
I was so thrown off because obviously that's something Michael Bay actually used in his movies, and I really hate to give that movie any kind of credit.
I love that movie. I don't get what you're talking about. But them shell shocking fucking Shredder off the building. That was awesome.
But also, one thing I did notice, and I'm really interested to see how this plays out, is the way Master Splinter is talking. Because it seems almost like his life as a rat is not the first go around at life he's had.
I can't wait for you.
And I am
to get it.
really fucking excited to see
My
where
man,
that goes.
You're gonna love it. Get ready for 5s. Lots of them. Luke.
It's getting a 5.
My man.
It reignited my love for the Turtles. Reignited my love for Leonardo. Why I love them as a character.
And you can tell it's going to be epic.
It's going to be epic. Raphael and Leo are going to butt heads all the time, and it's going to be perfect.
Well, I'm so surprised it was Donnie who was butting heads with them first.
Somebody has to butt heads.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Raphael butt heads with who gets in his way, except Master Splinter. That's the one he doesn't fuck with.
You can't.
He can't. He's like, I can't get angry at you. When I'm around you, I'm just happy. With my dad. Yeah, Leo even saying, I don't even think Raphael's alive. But Master Splinter does, so he's alive.
That's it.
That's it. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what our master and our father thinks. It
So
shows
good.
why he's such a good leader, because he will listen to what Master Splinter has to say.
Yeah. But he also, in the field, he's willing to make changes.
Yeah.
Because, like you said,
Yeah,
okay, so why can't we kick ass and look for rap?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
He listened. He
That's
listened.
why he's such a
I mean,
great
yeah.
leader. He's like, you know what? You're right, Mikey. Let's go look around.
Yeah.
He listens to his brothers.
So that means it's like this. When the general tells you secure the building, it's up to the sergeant to figure out how we take the building.
Yep. The Master Splinter's like, go look for Raphael.
Yep.
Mikey's like, we could also kick some ass while we do it. Then let's do it.
Yep.
And of course, it's Mikey's plan that ultimately found Raphael. Yo,
Last Ronin. All righty.
Mikey may have been dropped as a child, but never underestimate him.
No, don't. All right, so Dave, it's time for the story. What are we giving it?
I was going to give it a 5, but now that I see everybody's giving it 5, I might want to give it a 6.
Yeah, baby. All right, so why is it so good though that it gets a 5?
No, it's just damn good. Like they really thought it out. Like this was awesome, you know? Like
It was.
especially alienating Raphael and giving us Casey right away. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
It was so good. It was so good. It's a 5. It's a 5. There's no way. If you were looking for a better story from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, good luck. Good luck. All right. So if you're going to give a 5 in the future to any story, you failed today. If you didn't give this a 5. Anyway, but yeah, it was such a great hook. It was such a great hook. It hooked me like My Hero Academia hooked me. It was so good. It was just, it forces you to want to read more.
And you know, I'm a person who I don't enjoy reading. I wanted to read the rest of it.
Yep.
I just wanted to finish it. It was that good.
It is.
Oh, I
it is.
did.
Don't
I
worry,
did
man.
finish the whole book.
You're such a loser, Dave.
Is when I picked up the first Invincible.
Yeah,
And I had to read the entire thing.
that's a beast.
It is.
All right. So let's get, are you ready?
Yep.
Megan is on point with accounting. Here we go. So we've got 13. It breaks my heart. And 24.
7.4.
7.4 to start, come out the gate. All right, I'll take it. All right, and you'll make a note of that for us
I will.
on our Gilded, because we don't do Discord, because Discord can suck balls. All right, if you're going to try to tell me what my political beliefs should be, I'm not going to use you. So there we go. Anyway, guys, this was really epic today. I thought we did a good job. Of course, if we do post this up, viewers, people at home, let us know what we got wrong, what we got right. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Like, share, comment, do all that kind of stuff.
I think that should be a question. We should ask who's everyone's favorite turtle.
All right, why don't we do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start in reverse order. Dave, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Oh,
Of the
Donatello.
four original. What?
Donatello.
Donatello. Okay. Hold on.
I will say
We'll get to you.
Calm.
Okay. Okay. So,
Hold them back.
yeah. Now, we keep in mind this is of the original Turtles, not any add-ons or anything like that,
Understood.
Slash or anybody else.
Understood.
And also,
All right.
I don't. My opinion might change after we read this whole thing, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Absolutely.
just going off
Luke,
of history.
It has to be Leonardo, the leader, the captain.
you like Captain America?
Yeah.
Good
It's
man.
amazing.
Good man.
Last man standing.
All right, Michael, now you can fire off.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I love that you did add the original 4. 'Cause no one of us would have been a troll asshole and actually stated one of the others.
One or the other, yeah, exactly. Or the girl, turtle.
What was it? Venus from the Next Mutation?
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Venus.
Yeah.
So growing up, for me, it was Mikey, but nowadays it's absolutely
You love Leo too,
Leo is the best.
my man. Leo's taken center stage. And only weirdo would pick Donatello. But regardless, maybe a communist would pick Donatello.
Maybe.
All righty.
Maybe.
All right, Megan, what are we doing?
Raphael.
Oh!
Gotta go for the bad boy.
Yeah, absolutely. And
He's a
I
good
have
second.
to admit, if it wasn't for Raphael, I probably wouldn't even be into Ninja Turtles. So it's got to be Raphael.
There's a draw. He is my second favorite.
He's Wolverine.
Yep.
All right. So, all right. So yeah, people at home, please let us know how we're right, or more importantly, how we're wrong. I guess you should let us know what we got wrong today and everything like that. Especially if you're familiar with the IDW TMNT collection, I highly recommend that you get it. Check it out. If you don't, it is the best, the hands down best, bar none, best version of the Ninja Turtles I've ever seen. All right, and with that, we're going to let you all go and hopefully read the Turtles. All right, Dave, you want to say goodbye?
See ya.
See you, Dave.
See ya.